Hello and welcome back to Through the Cubby Hole with me, Lauren, and today's guest who is Kate from Kate and Her Home. Hello, Kate.
Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hello, good, thank you. So glad you could join me for this. So let's just get to it. Who are you? What do you do? And what do you share on your social media?
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm Kate from Kate and Her Home, and I share a variety of different content relating to our homes. So I share DIY projects, some upcycles and interior inspiration from my home to inspire other people who have particularly new build homes, because I think sometimes new build homes are obviously such a blank canvas, and there's lots of opportunities to make them colourful and add character. So I like to provide inspiration to other new build homeowners to achieve similar looks in their home.
Yeah, and you definitely do that. And when and why did you start your account in the first place?
So I started it when, oh gosh, it must have been about 6 years ago, when I was actually on maternity leave at the time and my son was only very little.
Yeah.
And I did it because we'd moved into our house and we'd done some decorating, but I didn't want to bore my family and friends on my own Instagram accounts. And ironically, a lot of them follow me now on my home accounts. But I did it because we moved into our house and we were doing lots of changes because it was a new build, and it hadn't had very much done to it in terms of decoration. So I started off with just showing photos of things that I bought and how we decorated a room, and then it kind of just evolved from there. And then at the time, My House This Month was an account that I followed, and it had loads of daily prompts to help you think of ideas for what to post. And so as time went on, it kind of evolved, and by that point we've been doing more and more to our house. So as time went on, my content changed as well. So I started to show more like DIY tutorials and yeah, when you look back at the first photos, you're like, my goodness, why did I post that?
Everyone starts off the same, like is just sharing sort of your home journey without sharing it to your closest and friends and family and stuff, because you don't want to bore them. And then all of a sudden something changes, and then all of a sudden you're creating content.
Yeah, it does. It's funny how it evolves over time, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. And when did you start to see the growth? When do you think it sort of started?
It was probably around 3 years ago, and that's kind of like when I changed my content as well. So before then, it was just but it was like a photo of something that I bought, or a particular room. Whereas we did a lot of work in our garden, particularly several years ago, and at that point I was more as well, because when I first started off, you didn't really take photos of projects like you did. Whereas when we did our garden, we filmed all what we did, and we did it ourselves. My husband did a lot of it. I was chief support.
And project manager.
Exactly,
that's what I like
project
to say.
manager. And because we had a lot of that content that we'd filmed of us building our own decking, our own pergola, and we did a lot of decorating our house at the same time. So my content shifted, and it was more educational to people. And then that's when I started to see the growth. People like, oh, how do you do that? How do I get around this problem? And when they're trying to recreate something similar. So then it started to inspire a lot of people to recreate similar looks in their home and garden as well. So that's when I really started to see the growth in my account.
And are you a full-time content creator?
No, I'm part-time content creator. So I also have a day job, which is a pharmacist, which is completely different to content creation. Yeah. So I have very much a healthcare, very scientific role, and I really enjoy it. I love I love my work around that. It's very rewarding, and I have a lot of experience in that as well. I've been doing it for quite a long time, but it doesn't really give you much of a creative outlet at all. So I find the two complement each other really well, because I have that role, and then I also have content creation, which gives me the free reign to be very creative in our home as well. So I like the contrast between the two. They're very different.
Yeah, no, definitely very, very different, but they work because you get the best of both, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, amazing. And how do you juggle life, working, creating content, running your account? How do you do it? Do you just wing it? Do you have a routine?
Yeah, it's probably a bit of both, really. So, having, I obviously work part-time and then do this part-time. So it's really about being really efficient with my time. So my husband's really supportive, so he'll help a lot, supports me in lots of different ways. So, there's a particular DIY project that I'm working on, then, he'll help, support me in terms of like, other things that need doing, like just life,
Yeah.
chores, like
Yeah.
helping with my children. And likewise, I do the same for him. So we work really well as a team to do that. You have to be quite organised to do that, because,
Yeah.
You've obviously got to think, especially with being a home accountant, you're often doing like DIY projects, which are time consuming in themselves, let alone creating the content, editing it, then maintaining your account and the engagement and all that comes with that. So yeah, I do try and have a plan where I dedicate time to do certain things. So usually like, evening weekends on my non-working days and my day job, I'll do my content creation. So it's a lot of organisation. Don't ask me for TV recommendations though, because I don't have the time to watch TV, because usually every evening we're doing painting or something, or did the counts. So yeah, it is a juggle, but when it's fun and it's what you enjoy, it doesn't feel like a struggle, because you have that enthusiasm for doing it, which does help as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what is your favourite content to create?
I really like there's probably two, I think. So I really like upcycles and crafts and things like that. So they don't have to be big projects as well, because I think sometimes when you are a home account, there's the expectation that, I'm redecorating a room again, you've only just done it, sit down. And we're certainly not like that, because it's a lot of time, and also, it's not sustainable either. But even just small things, like a chest of drawers, or, just something that's a small craft, for something seasonal, I enjoy doing them. But then I do also enjoy the sharing DIY tutorials as well. It's really helpful to show like our followers what can be achieved with a bit of imagination, and it doesn't have to be particularly expensive. So it's providing that inspiration for other people to say, I can do that. I don't need to get someone in to do that for me, or I can buy something from the high street, but actually I could probably just make it myself.
100%. Yeah,
so I think
and they're both like transformational, aren't they?
Yes.
Like the bigger and the smaller jobs that you're doing.
Yeah.
I think that's what people like. They like to see a before and after. They like to see how you got there, and if they can do it and how they can do it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's achievable for them as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what do you love about interiors and home decor? And has it always been a passion?
Do you know, it has. So when I was younger, when I was in high school, I really wanted to be an interior designer, and I ended up being a pharmacist. So they were quite different. So I've always had that interest in interior design and home decor. When I was younger, I used to rearrange my bedroom all the time. So like move my desk and my bed and change things around. And I think my mum had a lot of influence on me as well. She's really into home decor as well. I remember having my bedroom, and it would be decorated in a particular colour scheme at the time in the 90s and early 2000s, and then next year she'd paint it a different colour, but she'd do that around the house. And I remember her stenciling walls and painting and wallpaper, and I think I've got a lot of influence from my mum in that aspect as well, and she's still really into it now. So it has been something that's been an interest of mine for a long time. So it's great that so many years later, from when I was in high school and interested in being an interior designer, I'm now doing something similar.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like probably the same for me, actually. From being younger, it's like my mum, it wasn't a constant thing, but we'd wake up on a Saturday morning and she'd be like, right, let's go and do the bathroom. We'd go and get the paint, the accessories, everything, and just do it all in one day. And I think I've got that from her.
Sounds like 60-minute makeover, right? We're going to do it today.
Yeah, it's got to be done today. And we'd do it. But yeah, it was fun. And I used to do that with my own bedroom as well. I'd be like, right, I don't want it green anymore, I want it this colour. And then we'd get the wallpaper, we'd paint it, we'd do this, add accessories. And I think it's always been like something in the background.
Yeah, and I think as well, because I've grown up in new build homes. I've probably lived in new build homes for most of my life, really. My parents had one as well. And because you have those smooth, freshly plastered walls, decorating a room in a new build home doesn't require as much prep as perhaps an old property will, because you've got that perfect blank canvas. So there was always that opportunity to, redecorate because it was probably a bit easier to do so than replastering and all that sort of stuff that goes with perhaps older properties as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the worst part of the prep.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate it. And what is your favourite room in your house and why?
My favourite room is the one I'm in now. It's our kitchen. I absolutely love it. We had our kitchen done. It'll be coming up to 2 years now. What I love so much about it is, well, there's a lot of things I love about it. I love the colours. So we went quite bold with our cabinet colour scheme, and really it was the total opposite of what our kitchen was before. So we didn't pick our kitchen when we moved into our home. It was already fitted by our new build developer. So at the time I didn't really have much of a say in how it looked, and it just wasn't really in keeping with our personality and my style really. So what I love about our kitchen is the colour. I love the layout as well. It's amazing how a slightly different configuration to your layout of the room can make it work so much better as a space. We've got some really clever storage options in there. Even though we've moved some of our cabinets around and the layouts, having that and in combination with the different storage options means it's just so much better for storage. I'm not scrambling around in my cupboards trying to find things. And also we've got our larder as well, which is my absolute favourite part of our kitchen. I absolutely love it. You just open the doors and just look inside.
I love that. I love your kitchen. It's got a lot of character. It's got a lot of warmth. It looks like a nice room to be in.
Yeah, and it works so well as well with it from function as well. So having the islands with our hob on the middle means I'm not looking at a wall like I did previously in my last kitchen. So I'm it's more sociable. So when we have people around for family and friends for parties and things, we're all in a much more sociable space, and I can look out to our garden on our patio area as well because of the layout. So it just works so much better. I absolutely love our kitchen now. It's fabulous.
Yeah. Then on to your least favourite room of your house and why, and what would you change about it?
It has to be the downstairs toilet. So we got that done pretty soon after we moved in. You know what it's like. You know how your taste completely changes when you as time goes on. And the main issue I have with it, and the problem is that bathrooms and downstairs toilets are expensive to change, aren't they? Because it's not like you can just change the coat of paint. What I don't like are the tiles. So we had Metro tiles put in. And I originally wanted them in a herringbone arrangement, but at the time our tiler, I thought I'd communicated the arrangement that I want. The arrangement that was laid was different to what I want.
No.
But the room had been pretty much done. And so it was a bit too late to change. So we left as it was. And I've never really been truly happy with it. But we had other pressing rooms to done. It was fine. So what I would like to do is to take the tiles off and put new tiles on. And as well, it was very black and white in there, and that's just not my style now. I was very much in our millennial grey phase at the time, so it was all quite grey and black and white and things, whereas now our home has evolved and it's more colourful. So I'd love to have new tiles and a new sink as well, and then completely change the colour scheme as well. So that's going to be on the list to get done.
On the list.
But they're not quick jobs though, are they?
No, definitely not. Especially tiles. It's you've got to get them all off. Yeah. That's a pain enough.
It is. And then I've never made tiles before. So that, and I would do that myself now. I feel more confident in giving things a go. So I would have a go at tiling, but I'd need to have a bit of a practice run first, I think.
If you could choose any other Instagram accounts home to do a house swap with, whose would you choose and why?
So I would love to go and do a house swap with Elise from Make My Home Pretty. Okay. I first got to know her. She has she used to have a new build home, and then she moved to she's got now a renovation home, so it's an old property. And honestly, what she's done with it is amazing. She has such a good eye for colour and detail, and honestly, it's a joy looking at her photos and her content, because she's done so much work with her home over the last couple of years, and now she's getting to the point where it's a lot of stuff is finished and it's just beautiful. There's colours in there, and I just think, gosh, I'd never thought of putting those colours together, but it's done in such a lovely, tasteful way as well. It's really beautiful. So I would love to go and spend some time in her home. She's got a new a walk-in larder, pantry. Oh gosh, and she's got the dream kitchen that's, I think it's pink and a dark red colour, but it's really lovely. So yeah, definitely go and have a look.
And then what are your biggest interior icks? Things that you just would not have in your home?
Well, I've been there and done that with my millennial grey phase. I have been there, and I wouldn't do that now. So I think that's probably one of my biggest icks. I think, and I'm what I'm doing at the moment is I'm undoing all my grey phase in our home. So one by one, we're going through everything and changing it. So I think that's probably the big thing for me. I think as well though, like, because even now I'll probably look at, in 10 years time, I'll look at home and go, gosh, why did I have so much green? I think just because your taste evolves so much over time, you just think, gosh, why did I think that, back in the first place? One mistake that we did make was we painted our, it was our office, and it was during like the first lockdown, and we were all working from home, and I spent so much time in this room, and it was particularly stressful as well, because with being a pharmacist, I was, forefront, even though I wasn't frontline working, we're still extremely busy, and it was a challenging time with our work. And I spent so much time in this office, and it was such a dreary room. And then we painted it yellow, and I was thinking, what a lovely, joyful colour that was, but it was just too garish. And immediately regretted it. So I think probably one thing I've learned from that is just not to go wading in with a colour without actually testing out properly. We just thought, let's just do it. And anyway, we painted it over a few months later because it was just too much.
We all do it though. We all do it. We all made that mistake.
We definitely do.
This little section is all about you finding out a little bit more about you behind your account. So tell us something interesting about you, something you don't normally share. It could be a habit you have, an interest, a talent.
This is I found this one quite hard, because I'm like, gosh, I must sound really boring. Do you know actually what it's more of something about me that probably a lot of people don't know, but I'm probably quite in the minority with this as well, as that I don't drink tea.
I don't.
You drink? Oh well, I'm in such good company. I don't like it. I've tried it, and I just don't see the appeal of having a cup of tea at all. And everyone's like, oh, can I make you a cup? I'm like, no, thank you, I'm okay. So while it's not probably the most interesting thing, I always thought I was quite unusual, but now I know I'm in good company, I feel better.
But people, when I say I don't drink tea, they're like, what? Like, what do you mean you don't drink tea? I think it's a cult. Personally, I don't understand. I don't get it. It's mental. But yeah, I don't drink tea. Do you drink coffee?
I do, but only a mocha though. So I've only recently graduated to mochas, because it's still quite a bitter taste if it don't have something sweet in it. Do you drink coffee?
No, I don't drink any hot drinks really. Like I'll have a hot chocolate now and again, but no hot drinks.
Yeah, up until recently. And I think it was probably in the last couple of years I've started to have a coffee, but again, I'm quite tame in what I will have.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Snap.
Yeah.
Snap on that. And then if you could feature on any TV programme, what one and why?
I do, even though I don't watch an awful lot of TV, what one programme that I do enjoy is, Alan Carr and Amanda Holden, like the Italian Job and the Spanish Job. Wouldn't that be amazing to go and be with them two, who I think are hilarious anyway?
Yeah. 100%.
But then also to go and renovate a property somewhere abroad. Isn't that the dream?
Yeah, that is literally my favourite. And their type of renovating, I like it, because they give their ideas. They might have used a sledgehammer once or twice, stick a tile on, and then they go and have a bottle of wine.
Yes.
And that's my sort of renovation.
Yeah, I have all the ideas, but someone else can do it.
Yeah, everyone just crack on. I'm going to go and sit in the sunshine. I quite like it. Yeah,
can you imagine having a bottle of wine with Alan Carr and Amanda Holden? It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. No, that is a really, really good one. And you're the first person to say that one.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, that's a really good one. And then celebrity dinner party. You can invite 3 celebrities round for dinner. Who are you inviting and why?
So I would invite Ant and Dec, because I think they're hilarious. So they will be great entertainment for dinner party. And my third one would be Mary Berry, because I hope she brings some dessert. Would you have on yours?
I would have Beyonce, because I love Beyonce, I always have. I just think she's beautiful and I want her to sing to me. And then I would have Louis Theroux, because I just think he's seen so much. And he's got so many unique experiences and stories, and I just think he's really interesting. And then I would have Rob Beckett, because he's just hilarious. He's just really funny. So.
Have you seen that Amazon programme where, is it Last One Laughing?
I've seen, yeah.
I've not
It's good,
watched it
isn't
yet,
it?
but clips keep coming up. I thought I'm going to have to sit and watch this because it looks really funny.
Yeah, it is really, really funny. And me and my partner actually, after the first episode, I was like, right, let's try it ourselves. So let's see if we can not laugh. We did not last 10 seconds. Because like, when someone says don't laugh, you want to laugh, don't you?
Yeah.
So
Imagine being with
it
all of
is
them.
really good. I know, I don't, honestly, it's really good. It's just their facial expressions. You can see what they're thinking in their eyes,
Yeah.
and they're trying so hard not to laugh. And it's a really, really good watch, actually. Really good. Right. What is your dream collaboration, whether that be with a brand, a person? Who would you love to work with? What's at the top of your list?
Well, I'm very fortunate to work with some incredible brands already, and I think working with Howdens for our kitchen was a dream collaboration for me. If Emirates wanted to get in touch and offer to work with me to take me, and do some content for traveling, in an exotic destination, I'd be very happy with that proposal. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of people say that about the travel. Yeah, they do. It's a good one.
It is, isn't it? It's interesting because even though we're obviously got our own area of interiors and DIY, you still see a lot of other creators who do a lot of like travel content. You're like, oh gosh, what an incredible opportunity to go and experience other cultures and places. It sounds fabulous, doesn't it? So yeah, I'll be very happy if any of those or something similar would be happy to say, okay, would you love to come and travel?
100%. I just think with travel, it's universal, isn't it? It doesn't matter what your niche is. Everyone loves to go away, whether you like to go on a holiday, whether you like to go on an adventure. Everyone likes to go and do something and get away.
Have a break from painting and go and relax on a beach somewhere.
Yes, 100%. And then the last question is, what advice would you give to someone who is thinking of starting their own Instagram account?
I think if they were wanting to start it with a purpose for it to be like a career option, and to monetize from it and to work at it that way. I think the main piece of advice I give is to have that clear purpose as to what it is you're about. Why should people follow your account? Why should they engage with your content? What is it that you are offering to them? So I definitely have that clear strategy in mind as to what your value is and why they want to follow you. Invest in some decent equipment. Tripod, it doesn't have to be expensive equipment. A tripod can make the world of difference to the quality of your photos and the videos.
Yeah.
And a fairly decent one doesn't have to be a lot of money. So I think investing in some decent equipment and making sure that your content is of good quality, so that the actual videos and photos you take are clear and good quality in that way. Phones are really good for that. They've got some brilliant cameras on phones, haven't they, to do that.
Yeah.
But most people think having fun, be yourself, be authentic, because no one likes it when you're not honest and real. And it doesn't have to be about, sharing every, aspect of your life, or personal things. You can still be authentic, but, keep yourself private as well. I think, sometimes I think there's an expectation that you have to say everything that goes on in your life, and and people have problems and things that goes on behind the scenes. But I think as long as you're your true authentic self and you are honest with people, and then that's what people like and they can relate to you. Not everything 100%. Is rosy, as it appears on social media, and I think having that relatability to people is really important, and that's what then I think gets you an engaged following, because they're like, oh, they're just like me, we have that all. And whether it's I can relate to you because I live in a new build home and actually I've got such a blank canvas, I want my home to look like that, or you have a particular job that is you can relate to as well. So I think they're probably the things I'd say are most important, but have fun doing it, because that will come across in your content as well.
Good advice. Thank you so much for coming on. And for those listening, how do they find you on social media? So
you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I'm also on Pinterest as well. So I'm on the same handle as Kate in a Home. So you can find me on all of those social media platforms.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who is listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next week on Through the Cubbyhole.